Today, I'm going to explain about a South Korean drama film called Pawn. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The movie starts with a scene that features a character named Seung-yi, who is qualified as an interpreter at the China-Korea summit. Seung-yi goes to the restroom to calm herself down because it is her best chance. At the same time, her uncle Jong-bae calls her saying that he has found the person Seung-yi has been looking for the past 10 years. After finishing her work, she rushes. The story is directed back to 1993 in Incheon, Korea, where Jong-bae and Dooseok, working as debt collectors for a finance company, are walking down the street. Dooseok still regards himself as the chief and continues to issue orders to Jong-bae. Later, they come across a woman named Myungja and her 9-year-old daughter Seung-yi. Myungja flees as soon as she sees both debt collectors, but Dooseok apprehends her. Dooseok and Jong-bae interrogate her and ask to return the $750 that she lent 3 months ago. Myungja requests more time to pay, but Dooseok takes her daughter, Seung-yi, as a pawn. Dooseok departs, instructing Myungja to return the money and take her daughter after it. Dooseok tries to comfort the little girl while driving back. Myungja, on the other hand, goes to a place where her husband used to work, assuming to get money. Unfortunately, she returns empty-handed because the money is no longer available. She then walks to a phone booth and asks for assistance, and the person on the other end agrees to send the money to her. Dooseok gives the little girl a room to sleep in his place. Jong-bae wonders what would happen if Myungja went to the police, but Dooseok is sure she would avoid business with the police, as she is staying illegally in Korea. The next day, Dooseok and Jong-bae are chastised by their boss for kidnapping the girl. Their boss orders them to return the girl and collect the money. During the traffic jam on the way back, Seung-yi escapes from the car, flees to her house and enters the house after the police have left. Myungja, on the other hand, is apprehended by the police and is about to be deported to her home country, China. Dooseok goes to the immigration office to meet her after hearing the news, and Myungja gives him the number of Seung-yi's uncle Choi Byung-dal, saying that her uncle will pay the debt and take care of Seung-yi. Myungja then persuades Dooseok and leaves a pager and a photo of herself with Seung-yi. Elsewhere, Seung-yi packs her belongings and walks out of the house, leaving a message on the whiteboard that reads, "I'll find you, Mom." After a few moments, Dooseok arrives at Seung-yi's house in search of her, but he doesn't find her. Seung-yi walks down the street looking for her mother, and a drunk man tries to take her away, but Dooseok arrives and saves her. Seung-yi cries and tells Dooseok to take her to her mother, but he informs that her mother has left Korea. Time passes, and we see Seung-yi becoming more at ease with Dooseok and Jong-bae. One day, Seung-yi's uncle calls Dooseok and tells him he'll pick up Seung-yi the next day. So, they all go outside to get her a new dress and other accessories, and on the way back, Seung-yi introduces herself and has some fun with Dooseok and Jong-bae. She also expresses a desire to direct music videos. On the same night, Jong-bae brings a candlelit cake to commemorate her farewell, but Seung-yi does not appear pleased as she does not want to leave them. The next day, Dooseok and Seung-yi go to the bus stop to meet Seung-yi's uncle. Dooseok buys Seung-yi a CD player so she can listen to songs by her favorite artists. When the little girl notices this, she joyfully hugs Dooseok, and her uncle arrives, introducing himself as Choi Byung-dal. Choi Byung-dal claims to have met the little girl but can't remember her name. Seung-yi is also unfamiliar with her uncle. Choi then pays off the debt and takes Seung-yi with him, but neither Dooseok nor Seung-yi seem happy about their separation. After this, Dooseok looks depressed. Jong-bae tells him to page Seung-yi if he is concerned about her, but Dooseok pretends to be fine. Dooseok then leaves a message for Seung-yi, inquiring about her new school and home. When he does not receive a response, he calls Choi Byung-dal's house, but Choi's wife hangs up the phone, stating that her husband is unavailable. Dooseok becomes concerned and manages to locate Choi Byung-dal's address and travels there. He then encounters Choi, who appears to be intoxicated. Dooseok asks about Seung-yi and learns that Choi sold her for $300. Dooseok becomes enraged as he hears this and forces him to reveal the address. In the following scene, we see a lady waking up drunk and asking for water, to which Seung-yi responds by bringing her water. As the place appears to be a bar called Cha 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 Room Salon, the lady orders Seung-yi to clean the room, tables, and bathroom. The little girl does all the work innocently, and after finishing it, she walks into her room, steals a phone, and leaves a message for her mother, telling her to come soon. Dooseok, on the other hand, notices a pager in Seung-yi's bag and discovers a number in it, so he leaves his own number and asks Seung-yi to call him back. Seung-yi receives the message and dials the number, but she is unable to connect. In the bar, The lady orders Seung-yi to clean the floor while a drunk man throws a glass against the wall, injuring Seung-yi with a glass shard. Dooseok then recalls that he forgot to mention the area code earlier, so he leaves another message and waits for the call. Seung-yi returns his call, crying, and informs about her location in Busan. Dooseok becomes concerned and travels to Busan immediately. Dooseok and Jongbae arrive at Cha-Cha-Cha Room Salon, where they meet Seung-yi. Dooseok yells at the owner of the bar for not taking Seung-yi to the hospital, then decides to pay the owner and reclaim Seung-yi. Dooseok then transports Seung-yi to the hospital to have the wound treated. He even sells his car to manage expenses for the little girl. Later, he takes her to school to enroll her, but the principal refuses to accept her because she is not a Korean citizen. Dooseok tries hard to convince the principal, but the principal eventually agrees that it is possible if Dooseok plays the role of Seung-yi's father. Seung-yi then begins attending school and studying diligently, resulting in excellent grades. Seung-yi matures as time passes. One evening, Dooseok arrives at the school gate on his motorcycle to pick up Seung-yi, and at the same time, Seung-yi's mother appears and sees her daughter happy and returns without meeting. As time passes, Seung-yi graduates from high school with honors, and Dooseok drops her off for the entrance exam, wishing her the best and praying for her success. In the next scene, Dooseok becomes concerned when Seung-yi fails to return home on time one night. He waits, and a few moments later, a man drops Seung-yi home while carrying her on his back because she is drunk. Dooseok and Jongbae begin to inquire about the man and realize that he is a good man who will soon be a doctor. During this time, Dooseok receives a call from Seung-yi's grandmother, who tells him to pay a visit to Seung-yi's mother, who is gravely ill. Dooseok and Seung-yi take a flight to China to meet Myungja. Both the mother and daughter cry, and Myungja expresses her gratitude to Dooseok. Dooseok learns that Myungja has been discharged from the hospital and might pass away soon. Before leaving, Myungja requests Dooseok's assistance in finding her father. Seung-yi gives her mother a box containing her school results and a picture of the two of them. Looking at all of these, Myungja breaks down. After returning home, Seung-yi notices Dooseok's torn shoes and decides to purchase a new pair. She then works for 3 days in a shoe factory, telling Dooseok that she's going on a school trip. With the money she earns, she purchases a new pair of shoes. Dooseok, on the other hand, locates Seung-yi's father but discovers that he is married to another woman and has a child. Dooseok summons Seung-yi to a restaurant one evening to meet her father. After the meeting, Dooseok returns home. He thinks that Seung-yi will leave with her biological father but gets delighted when he receives a phone call from Seung-yi, who addresses him as dad. She inquires as to why he left her and requests to pick her up from the same location. Dooseok gladly agrees and rides to the same location, but on the way, he becomes dizzy and falls off his running motorcycle. Seung-yi, on the other hand, keeps waiting. The current story continues with Seung-yi in the car with Jongbae, who has been looking for Dooseok for 10 years. On the way, Seung-yi notices the same board she saw as a child and requests a ride back to the police station. She then rushes inside and instructs the officer to look for Park Seung-bo, Dooseok's nickname given by Seung-yi. A few moments later, the officer informs them that the given name is at Brothers of Hope in Yongin. Both arrive at the same location and discover that Dooseok is suffering from neurological issues. According to the person who works there, the patient only wrote 2 words in his diary, Park Seung-bo and Pawn, so they named him Park Seung-bo. A worker then takes them to Dooseok, where he is held in some sort of mental institution. When Jongbae and Park Seung-bo see Dooseok's condition, they both cry out loud. Dooseok doesn't recognize them, but he does have Seung-yi's CD player with him. Seung-yi hugs him tightly and promises Dooseok that she will use him as a pawn until he is completely recovered.